Okay, we are live. Okay, period 6. Is that a joke or what? Oh, that's so funny. 2b. Didn't I do a problem almost exactly like this yesterday except harder? Didn't I do this one for you yesterday? I can look in the video. 2x plus 3 over 5x plus 7. And then we come to this problem, which is f of x equals x plus 1 over x plus 2. You tell me which one's harder. This one's harder, and we cannot do the easier one. Go to your room right now. Don't come down. Let's go do it. X equal y plus, switch the x's and y's. Okay, I'll tell you right now, one of these, 1 of the 10, this is it right here. You better be able to find the inverse. And who knows, might not even have numbers, might be A, B, C, D. Oh, that gives me an idea. Cross multiply. Put all the y's on one side. Factor out the y's. This is so mechanical. So finally, y equal negative 2x plus 1 over x minus 1. The x's cancel out. The minuses cancel out, the 1's cancel out, so you just have a 2 plus over. Three B. Are you joking? Wait, you telling me you could do A but not B? Oh boy. Anyway, you're supposed to learn something in this problem. What did you learn? What did you learn in this problem?
It's the same.
Yeah. Okay, but let's just do this. First of all, first you gotta find the inverse. Can I just, you guys, these are lines. You guys can I just write it down? X minus 3 over 2. G inverse equals x minus 1 over 4, right? So once you get these things, just do what it says to do. So in part B, it says find G inverse of F inverse. So you take F inverse and you plug it into G inverse. So, take this one and plug it in there. So, this minus 1 over 4. So you take that and plug it in for x there. Woo! And then multiply top and bottom by 2. So you get x minus 3 minus 2 over 8. So your final answer is x minus 5 over 8. Holy Fibonacci! And is that the same answer as in A? Yeah, anyway, so what you should have learned in this problem is f of G inverse is equal to G inverse of F inverse. So you could actually distribute the inverse, but what happens? You gotta switch the order. We're never gonna remember that, but who am I kidding? Okay, number 3, and then 6BC7, 6BC7, 6BC7. Okay, there is a problem like this on the quiz. It looks more like 7 though, but 6 is the same thing except different. You have to know what affects the graph. So B, how do you reflect any graph about the y-axis? You do this. You substitute negative x for x. So you take this equation. If you substitute negative x for x like that, that reflects it over the y-axis. That's it. And then, of course, simplify your answer, yeah? Like if I were me, I would multiply top and bottom by negative 1 to get this. And doesn't that look prettier? Don't you like it all gussied up? And then C, how do you reflect a graph around the line y equal x? You find the inverse, right? Because any graph of any graph and its inverse are symmetric about this line. So how do you find the inverse of this? Switch the x's and y's. This looks just like the last problem we did. Cross multiply. No, I love doing things over and over. Put all the y's on one side. This is so much fun. Factor out the y. Oh, goody. And finally, y equal negative 2x over x minus 1. The negatives cancel out. The x's cancel out. So you just get 2 over 1, which is 2. got that on video, so it has to be true. And then number 7. Okay, this is the one that's on the quiz. In fact, I just finished the quiz, so I know that I think this is the last problem on the quiz. No, it's the same concept though. You got to do the same kinds of things. Okay, first you stretch it horizontally by a factor of 2. How do you make a graph stretch horizontally by a factor of 2? F of 2x? No, because I did it right. F of x over 2. This stretches it horizontally by a factor of 2. So all you have to do is substitute x over 2 for x. Like that. Now, here's the question. Should I simplify and then go to the next step, or just leave it and then simplify all at once at the end? Leave it. Really? Oh, you can do what you want. If I were me, I would simplify it. Multiply top and bottom by 2. X plus 2 over x plus 4. Doesn't that look prettier? It's up to you. It's going to come out the same. It's like eating oatmeal. Whatever that means.
No, that's funny.
Does it matter if you eat the oatmeal first and then the toast, or then the toast and then the oatmeal? It doesn't matter. It just comes out, right? Okay. Now we stretch it vertically by a factor of 3. That's this. So all you got to do is whatever answer you got here, whatever answer you get, just multiply it by 3, and that's a vertical stretch. And then I would simplify it. So 3x plus 6 over x plus 4. And I remember last year they said, how come you don't distribute the 3 to the bottom? No, because that's 3 over 1, not 3 over 3. You guys are probably thinking the same thing. Now we're going to translate it 2 left. How do you make the graph go 2 to the left? This. So substitute x plus 2 for x. And then simplify it. 3x plus 12 over x plus 6. And then finally, 1 unit down. How do you make a graph go 1 down? You just slap minus 1 at the end. Kind of slow. Strike 1. Period 6. Strike 1 for slow reaction. Did he say sit down? Strike 2.
Sit down.
Nah, I'm not kidding. Did I say sit down? What? So y equals 3x plus 12 over x plus 6 minus 1. Can I leave my answer like that? Well, you can leave your answer any way you want. I will take off 1 for not simplifying. You need to make a least common denominator. It's up to you. Don't forget to distribute that minus sign. So your final answer is y equals 3x, no, 2x plus 6 all over x plus 6. The x is canceled, the plus is canceled, the 6 is canceled, so just 2 over is the answer. Yeah, we got that on video, so it has to be true. Yes?
Can I ask a question about function 2?
Does this say go first? Are we even done with this now?
Yeah, we're done.
Okay, I guess
Okay.
we're videoing it, right?
For,
Function 2.
yeah, for 1i.
Oh, by the way, there's a lot of graphing to be done. So out of the 10 problems you're going to get on the Maxi quiz, I believe 4 of them are graphing. Or 3 of them. Okay, anyway. Okay.
I think it's y equals, inverse of y equals f of f.
Okay.
So isn't that like y equals y?
This isn't April 1st.
No, because like,
Okay. Okay, what are we doing? Function 2. 1i. I'm not laughing at you. Okay, this is, okay, you guys want to know what's on the quiz? You guys are shameless, okay? This is on the quiz right here. I'm going to give you a graph, okay? It's not going to be like this one, okay? I'm going to give you a graph. I'll even label the key points for you, little baby. Okay, so I'm going to give you a graph like this, but it's not going to be exactly like this. And then you're going to have to do these things, except only 4 of them. You You want me to tell you which ones?
Yeah.
Okay.
No! You're supposed to say no! Okay, A.
Okay.
That's all I'm going to tell you. Okay, so I. This is I. It says graph the inverse. What does inverse mean? Why didn't you ask this question when we went over it?
Because I did it like so long before that like I forgot to ask.
Okay, how do you graph the inverse of anything? You switch the x's and y's. So if I switch this, you get 0, -2. Switch the x's and y's here, you get 0, 4. Switch the x's and y's there, you get 2, 2, and then connect the dots. Hangaga pagunga. Hey, look at that. Like a Star Trek thing. Okay, so what's the question? Huh? No, you said something about y equal y. What? No, I want to know. You made me do all this work. I want to know.
F of x equals y, so it's like the inverse of y equals y. It's like
Wait, f of x equals what?
y.
Yeah, y equal f of x.
Yeah.
That's this graph right here.
Well, like, why don't you just write inverse of f of x?
Oh! Oh, you guys understand what he's saying? He's actually kind of intelligent. No. That's a good question. He's saying, when you graph this, Mr. Park, why didn't you just say graph this? Why did you say graph the inverse of y equal f of x? That's your question?
Yeah.
That's a good question. Good down. Give him the answer. Wayne? Lum. He said, don't even bother yet. Lum. Why did I say graph the inverse of this? Why didn't I just say graph f inverse x? Saka, Kanioi, that's right, Kanioi error. Go. What was the question?
People can't read.
No! Okay, let me ask you this. Is this a one-to-one function?
No.
No, so then when I find the inverse, is this even a function? The only way the inverse is going to be a function is if the original is a one-to-one function. And since this isn't a function, you cannot use function notation. See, because when you use this notation, it means it has to be a function, but it's not. That's why I had to say, graph the inverse of y equal f of x.
You tricked them.
No, I did not trick you. It's just that I would have looked bad if I did that. You know what I'm talking about? I would have been wrong. Okay, so yes, there's a lot of graphing from number 1 here on the quiz. And I'll just tell you, you don't have to know about number 2. I didn't put any of those on. Because you guys didn't like them anyway.
Do you have to know this for the test?
You don't have to know anything for the What kind of... Okay, tonight's homework is the last thing we're going to learn about functions. It's word problems. It's a plethora of word problems. There's 9 word problems. Why don't we just do 2 in class so you only have 7 for homework?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do that.
Let's do 5.
You guys are so shameless sometimes. I'll tell you which ones I'm going to do. You don't tell me which ones I'm going to do.
Maybe we should do 5.
Okay, let's do 1 medium 1. Okay. How about, no, you guys are going to have to do that one on your own. Let's do 7. You guys got to do, okay, we're going to do 7 and, okay, pick one.
9.
No, you're going to do 8 and 9 on your own.
6.
No, you're going to do 6 on your own.
5.
5.
4. 3. 2. 1.
That's kind of weak.
1.
Okay, I will do 4. I will do 4 and 7 then. That's my final offer. Take it or leave it.
Leave it.
I want to leave something, I'll tell you that. Okay, P is a point on the parabola y equal x. I mean, this comes up a lot in calculus, you know. Anyway, like I told you before, you're going to see all of these problems again in calculus, except you're going to use calculus to find the max and mins instead of using your graphing calculator. So here is the parabola, y equal x squared. It says write the distance d between P and a point 3,1 as a function of x. Okay, here is the point 3, 1. Find the point on the parabola that is closest to that point. That's what we want to find. We want to minimize this distance right here. Okay? So what is the point on the parabola that is closest to this point? You guys understand the problem? A parabola is made up of an infinite number of points. Which one is closest to that one?
Hypotenuse. No, like you draw like right triangle.
Draw a right triangle?
Yeah, yeah. See,
Okay.
hypotenuse.
Okay.
What's the question? That's what I'm trying to find.
Okay. No, okay, that is no. Okay, what are we trying to minimize in this problem?
Distance.
The distance. So we need to write a function for distance. I'll call it d right there. We need to write a function for distance now. Do we know the distance formula?
Yeah.
Yes. Hopefully we do. What is it? Now here is a point on the parabola. How do I label it? X, y, but of course y is equal to x squared. You're going to have to substitute it sooner or later. You want to put it there or later? Now or later?
No.
Later. Later.
No.
Okay, later then.
What?
What difference does it make? Okay, so how do you find the distance between these 2 points? Square root of
3.
x. Why do you want to put the number first? That's why you guys have problems. Who puts the number first? Only demented maniacs. X minus 3 quantity squared plus y. Doesn't that... Okay, look. This is the way normal people do it. This is the way demented serial killers do it. No, I want to see the number first. Why? Yes, they're the same thing, but why? No, I'm serious. This is why you guys have trouble with algebra. Didn't your algebra teachers teach you to put it in descending order? What's that? Okay, this is a function, except we can't graph this on our calculator because we have 2 variables. So we have to get rid of one of these variables. And how do I do that?
Plug it in.
Yeah, y equals x squared. So like we said, you can either plug it in there or plug it in here. It doesn't matter, yeah? Now we have a function of 1 variable. Okay, now this is, we already did this last chapter, but now you're going to do it again. Last chapter, all the functions came out polynomial. Is this a polynomial?
Yeah.
No, because you have a square root. You're just on a losing streak.
No, ask that good question. No.
This is not a polynomial because you have a square root. Okay, so can we graph this on our calculator? Okay, take out your calculator. We're better practice. Okay, so what do I graph on the calculator? Square root x minus 3 squared plus x squared minus 1 squared close parentheses. And again, you need to set the window, people. You cannot just press the graph button and think you're going to see something. Okay, what does x represent in this problem?
Domain.
What?
Domain.
You're just making up stuff now. It represents the x-coordinate of the point on the parabola. Now look at this point. It's obviously in the first quadrant, right? So what do you think would be good bounds for x min and x max?
0 and 100.
0 is a good one. 100, not so good.
10. 50. 1.
Okay, look. Can you see that if this is the point 3,1, this point gotta be to the left of it, yeah?
So 1.
I was thinking 3. Because the x-coordinate of this point is 3, so therefore this point is going to be somewhere over here, right? Okay. What does y represent in this problem?
X squared.
No. Not this y. The y that you're graphing. The distance, okay? So what do you think should be my y min and y max?
0.
0 and
5.
Now, you have to kind of guess here. I guess
5.
5, but
5.
I don't think we even need that much, but Law wants to put 5, to put 5.
Yeah.
You just kind of guess, and then what you're hoping to see on your screen is the hump. You want to see the hump so you can calculate the minimum. Do we see the hump?
Yes.
Park. Okazaki.
Yep.
Oh, this is a nice hump. Wow. I like it. Okay, calculate. You guys remember how to calculate minimum? You guys do, right? Callahan? Yes, I know, but by now you. So what's going to happen on Monday? Okay, there is a calculator problem.
Yeah,
on Monday.
I'm gonna
Borrow somebody's.
no.
No, you should borrow
No,
somebody's.
I'll get another one. Yeah, but my parents probably like kill me. So.
Just borrow somebody's.
But for the whole year?
No.
No, just.
No, because in this class, the only test, we use it for a few quizzes, but the only test where you actually use a calculator on is when we study the law of sines and cosines,
Yeah, but I got.
which is later in the second quarter.
I got. Physics.
Okay, so what are the coordinates of this point? X equals.
Negative d over 2.
You look, did you calculate? You didn't even calculate, you don't even have a calculator. Calculate the min, die. X equals.
1.2896.
I thought I trained you already. In this class, everything is 3 decimal places.
Okay.
So 1.290 and y equals
1.834.
834.
Mr.
Everybody?
Park, your answer in the bottom is wrong then.
Oh.
No, you're wrong.
What?
Okay, what are we trying to find? What are we trying to find? Quickly.
Shortest
We're trying.
Shortest distance.
No, what does it say? The coordinates of this point right here. This is point P.
Oh, you're right then.
Okay, so we know the x coordinate is 1.290. So the y coordinate is 1.834.
No.
No, this y is this y, which is the distance. This number here is the distance. You guys understand? Because that's what we made y1 equal to, the distance. So don't put 1.834 there. That's minus 2. If you know the x coordinate, how do you find the y coordinate?
Plug it in.
You plug it into what?
You put
This equation will give you the y coordinate of that point. So you have to take this number with all of its decimal places and plug it in there. You don't just put 1.290 squared. Watch. Somebody do this on their calculator. Go. 6 point God. No, EA. 1.664. Okay, but now remember I told you this before. Whenever you calculate the max min or root or whatever, this number is now stored in x with all its decimal places, right? So all you have to do is tell your calculator, compute x squared. And the calculator will plug this number with all its decimal places in for x. Or you can write it on your paper and then square it, but that's barbaric, right? Okay, do it. Boom. What does it come out to?
1.663.
1.663. Oh, see, I warned you about that. If you do not use all the decimal places, you get rounding errors. And on the AP exam, if you are off in the 3rd decimal place, it's an automatic point deduction. So anytime you use a computed number in another computation, you have to use all the decimal places. That's why store it on your calculator. But in this case, it got stored for you, so easy, right? Okay, one more and we're done. Which one are we doing? I kind of forget. 7. Okay. That was kind of fun. These are all fun. Number 7. A cylinder is inscribed in a sphere of radius 1. Mr. Park, didn't we do this problem like 3 times already? Yeah, but it takes 4 or 5 to sink into your brain, right? Radius 1. Okay, guys remember? How do I draw in the radius to help me do this problem? Remember? So
to the corner.
which corner?
The bottom right. Now to the side. No, down, straight down.
No, you already answered the question, and now we have a right triangle here. Okay. Express the volume of the cylinder as a function of the base radius r. So here's r. So once you know 2 out of the 3 sides of a right triangle, how do you label the 3rd? Right here. How do I label
1
this?
minus r squared.
Root 1 minus r squared. Don't forget the root now. So now can I write the volume of this cylinder as a function of r?
Yeah.
Yes. No. Again, you guys gotta know all your formulas now. What's the formula for volume of a cylinder?
R squared.
Pi times the radius squared times the height. Look at this picture. What is the radius? Duh. And what's the height?
2 root 1 minus
2 of those radical thingies. There you go. So let's simplify that. 2 pi r squared times root 1 minus r squared. Now this is the same problem we did before, but what's the only, does anybody remember the difference? The last time we called this one r, and this one comes out root 1 minus r squared. Why is that nicer?
Because then you get rid of the radical.
Yeah, because then when you square it no more radical, you get a polynomial. But I purposely did it this way this time so you get a radical. You know what I'm talking about? Okay, so it's all one variable. Now we are ready to punch this in our calculator. So go y1 equal 2 pi x squared root 1 minus x squared. Okay, now let's see how smart you are. Set the window. You guys still want to just press the graph button, yeah? What should I make x min and x max? X represents the radius. So what do you think? 0 and 1. How come the radius can't be bigger than 1? Okay, now is the time. The hypotenuse is always the biggest side of a right triangle. Okay, now y represents the volume of this thing, right? Okay, you can't have negative volume, so it should be 0 now. This is where you gotta kind of guess. What should I make y max?
15.
5.
2. 15.
Okay, now remembering that
3.
what is the formula for a volume of a sphere?
4/3.
4/3 pi times the radius cubed. And pi is approximately 3. So the volume of this entire sphere is going to be around 4, right? But since the cylinder is inside it, doesn't it have to be smaller than 4? So a good guess would be 4. But it doesn't matter. You could have guessed 10, right? And the main thing is, on your calculator, you want to see the hump. Do we see the hump? Ooh, nice. I want to see what it looks like. Ah, this is a nice one. The hump looks kind of sexy. I shouldn't have said that. We're videoing it. It's just a regular hump. Calculate the maximum. And you get x equal, y equal, ow, 3 decimal places. Hard to work with the pressure there. Ching, substitution. 0.846. So 816. 0.816. Did everybody get that? Okay, good. Now answer the question. What is the question? What number are we doing? 7. Use your graphing calculator to find the maximum volume. So what's the maximum volume? There, right there. 2.418, because y represents the volume. And that's the maximum y coordinate right there. Yes?
Did you mix up the answers for 7?
Possibly.
You skip 3.
What?
It goes to 10 because like skip 3 and all the 10. Yeah.
Don't tell me what I did wrong. So what's the question?
No, the 3 is 4, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, you,
No, see, no, this summer I revised all the worksheets, that's why. So apparently I revised, because they didn't used to have these pictures before, so I put the pictures in. And I took out a couple problems too. So this is number 8. Yeah, so yeah, come on, you guys can figure it out, yeah? No. And there's no answer for 3. So 4 is 3 then.
Yes.
How do you know? You didn't make this, I did. Why is there an extra parentheses on 582? Look at that. So many mistakes. Go to your room. Okay, anyway. I want you guys to really work on 6, 8, and 9 on your own now. So, I mean, if you have to go to Plan B and you only have a little bit of time for homework, even though you have the whole weekend, just do problems 6, 8, and 9. Do those first, because those are the ones that are, on the test, probably going to have 2-word problems as well. And that's right there. Usually every year I give 2 out of those 3. Because the others they're kind of easy, so I don't know. Okay, any questions? So now you guys really want to know what's on the quiz? Or you guys really that shameless?
No.
Yep.
Okay, no, I'll tell you. Function 1. You gotta know everything. Function 2. Number 1. No, I'm serious, you gotta know everything. Function 3. That's so easy, function 3. But 7, number 7 then. Okay, there. I told you everything. No, I'm serious. Function 1, you gotta know everything. You gotta know how to find the main. You gotta know odd, even. You gotta be able to find range. Okay, you guys remember how to find the range?
Yeah.
You're gonna have to put it in quadratic form. You're gonna have to graph a tilted. Okay, one of the problems is there's gonna be either a tilted ellipse, parabola, or hyperbola. You're gonna have to graph it. So you're gonna have to put it in quadratic form. Solve for what? You gotta know difference quotient. You gotta know how to work with absolute value by making a piecewise function. You gotta know everything. You gotta know everything. Okay, no questions, then we're done then. And then don't forget, when is the bonus points? Thursday at class day. I can't wait to play Boris and Callahan because they're state champions. So state champions don't need any handicap, right?
Oh no. Because we haven't played in a while.
The date on that thing was just this past summer, wasn't it?
It was 2007.
No.
No, it was 2007.
You changed that too then?
Yeah.
No, because I recognize the tournament. That guy Rongma and the guy.
Yeah, they won last week. So like we beat them like a long time ago. Some people continue playing that. Mr. Park, do we play street rules?
What is street rules?
I don't know.
Don't worry, you're gonna get beat. Don't worry.
How do you know you're not going to get
Okay, the bell rings in 9 minutes.
Wait, so the bottom is always the one plus S.
Yeah, No, this guy is evaluating me. If I get a good evaluation, my salary gets doubled. From 2 million to 4 million.
What happens if you get a bad valuation?
Then it goes down to 1.5 million. So I'll get the review report next
How
week.
many of them actually believe that, right?
Wow, they're gonna believe a teacher makes that much.
Probably just enough to lie.
Wait, so you're visiting other people?
Oh, that's your full name. I like that.
No, I was thinking, yeah, you click on Middle East instead of.
Cal or L control. Lost my best. Lost charge.
Did you take a quiz too?
Yes. We lost some. It was pretty easy.
Always. I didn't do lessons.
El Campeonato.